Hello, welcome to the Booktube Newbie Book Tag. So the Booktube Newbie Book Tag is kind of the book tag where, new booktubers film and they would answer several questions and kind of just talk about their channel. And this book tag is sometimes kind of like the first video ever that a booktuber would post on their channel. But if you've been following me for a while, you would know I've already uploaded like more than 10 booktube videos. But I really wanted to make sure I finished my 12 video challenge before filming this book tag because I just wanted to make sure if I am actually serious about it. So usually, of course, since this is a book tag, you would have to be tagged by someone. No one specifically tagged me, but I watched Carolyn Mary Reed's Booktube channel and she tagged everyone. So I would just kind of insert myself here and do this book tag with y'all. So there will be 10 questions and I kind of want this to be like a chill, chatty time. So I'm also bringing this coloring book. So I will be coloring in this little drawing while I answer the questions. So this is The Secret Garden. I got this coloring book in a thrift shop in Taiwan, and this is like one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's only like 90 something NT dollars, which is like $3 US. Thanks for clicking into this video and let's get into it. First question, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I love reading and I like talking about books, but I also don't want to be like annoying other people, especially not everyone is interested in books. And sometimes when I'm talking to other people, I kind of just feel like they might not be interested. And so I felt like this having a channel is really good because if you're not interested, you probably won't click into this video, and so I feel totally fine about that. And also, I watched a lot of booktube videos before starting this channel, and I think I'm the type of person who after, for example, I used to really love watching plays and dramas, and then at one point I just wanted to be in a play on myself and act in a play. And so that's kind of the thing. After watching so many booktube videos, I'm like, I want to make my own video as well. So that was kind of what sparked my desire to start this channel. But kind of the triggering point that really pushed me was actually COVID. It was, I think, 2020 or 2021. Everything was remote. We had to study online and I was at home all day. And so I felt like I no longer had any excuse to put it off. So I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna be cringe, but let us just film a video and put it on YouTube. And so I did, and that was the first video of the 12 video challenge, and it is still on this channel. If you're interested in checking it out, I was talking about the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices series. And yeah, that was how this entire channel started. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? So first of all, I feel like everyone is unique. I don't think you have to be extremely like different, quirky, or any of that to bring something new to YouTube. I feel like as a person, you're already unique. But specifically for me, I feel like just being a Taiwanese YouTuber, I think that is very unique. So I spent all my childhood in Asia. I think that is a very different perspective I'm bringing to you. For example, I had this problem when I was in Taiwan where I really wanted to read a lot of books, but they just were not available in the library. For example, I wanted to read Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas for the longest time, and it just was not available in the entire Taipei library collection. And you can kind of recommend books on the system, and I did. And after like 4 years of waiting, they finally sent me an email and said, hey, we got this book in the library. And so I was really thankful actually that they actually processed my request, but it was such a long waiting. And I felt like if I lived in the States or Canada or somewhere, I would not even have that problem because it's definitely gonna be in the library. and also like The Astonishing Colors of After, the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. All of these books were very like talked about on Booktube, but I was in Taiwan and they weren't available. So the moment I came to the US, I'm like, okay, I'm reading all of these books. So I think this is something unique. I am also a polyglot. I speak multiple languages, but most fluently is English and Chinese. So if you watch some of my previous videos, I sometimes just throw in random languages. And finally, I think one unique thing about me is I don't film book hauls or like buy books with me videos, because I don't really buy books. I don't own that many books. 90% of the books I read are checked out from the library, and a lot of other books are gifted to me. Okay, bookshelf tour. This one is gifted to me. Gift, library, gift, Bible, gifted to me from my dad. My diary, gift. I bought this in the New York Library. Gift, notebook, library. My other bookshelf. This one has more store-bought books, but mostly gift. Bought this. Gift. I bought these 4. And the rest are gifted to me. I did buy like a few books. For example, this one that's sitting right here, The Count of Monte Cristo. I bought it at the New York Library because it was just such a beautiful copy, and it's a very long book, and I felt like it would be very worth it to buy one. And so, but other than that, I understand some people might feel like, okay, I can't be a booktuber because I don't have the budget to, you know, buy all these books and do book hauls. But so am I. Like, I am on a budget, and at this point in my life, I don't think I will be able to afford all the, like, buying a lot of books or having a huge bookshelf. But it's okay. You can still love reading, and that's why libraries are so amazing. You get to check these books out for free. And I'm just saying, you can still be a booktuber. What are you most excited for about this channel? I think just putting up new content is very exciting to me. So I have filmed like 12 videos in the past, kind of just talking about books, and these are more like, I guess more just me talking, a little bit chatty, but I'm also very excited to film some more lifestyle, vlog style videos, like reading vlogs or grad school vlogs. I don't know if you'll be interested in it, because I am currently in grad school, and that's also a lot of reading. I'm also excited to kind of put some of that out there and just share parts of my life with you on this channel. Why do you love reading? Okay, I think I've always loved reading. Even before I was literate, I was like looking at these huge books and just looking at the pictures. I guess I just really liked the feeling of reading, and again, I'm so thankful that my parents read books to me, and I also grew up in a place where books are very accessible in the library. I think one of the beauties of reading is that you get to see so many different worlds and know so many different characters. I feel like I'm just able to know twice as many people just from reading. And I also feel like reading allows me to feel like a wide range of emotions, because I feel like if I'm just going about my everyday life, my emotions are kind of just like happy, calm, sad, calm, happy. And it's just not a huge range of emotions. I mean, again, I'm so thankful that most of the times my emotions are quite calm and happy. But I think by reading, you can just feel such a wide range of emotions like grief, suspense, joy, spite, remorse, and all of that you might not be able to feel so easily in everyday life. And you can do that in kind of like a safe environment. And I just think reading gives me a lot of solace when I feel misunderstood or lonely. Books are a place where I can escape, and they always welcome me with open arms. And I feel like reading a book is like going into Narnia. It's like years could go by in just a few hours. And for example, when I was reading The Color Purple, following Sally's life from when she was just a young girl to like adulthood to when she was an old lady, I just felt like, wow, it took me like a month and to follow her entire life, and I just felt like I went on this entire journey with her. And it's literally a way to, you know, transcend time without using a time machine, and that's the magic of reading. What book or series got you into reading? Definitely, I would say The Boxcar Children by Gertrude Chandler Warner. And I mentioned that in my nostalgic reads video. I think that's like the first non-picture book that I read. And I really like it because it's very readable. There are also illustrations in the story, and it's kind of like a mystery series, but it's not like too dark heavy. It's kind of like children friendly type of mystery. So I really enjoyed it. And also the books just smelled so good. They had like the old book smell with the kind of yellowed pages, which I really love and I don't see as much. And another book that really, I don't know if that got me into reading, but that I really love was Anne of Green Gables. I read the picture book version, so there were words, but it's like the children's version. And I remember I just continuously checked that book out of the library. That was when I was like 5 years old. And back in the day, they still used the library card where you have to write your name and the date when you check out a book, so it's not like electronic. I was just like so satisfied seeing my name like taking up the entire library card. I just kept reading it over and over again, and that was really fun. And then the series that kind of got me into YA, I think, was The Hunger Games. I read that in 7th or 8th grade, and after that, because The Hunger Games was like 300 something pages, and that was like the longest book I've ever read up to that point. And then after finishing it, I was like, oh, so I can actually do it. So I think that kind of brought me to a whole new level and got me into YA and just longer books in general. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So just shout out to some of my favorite booktubers would be Jessie the Reader, A Clockwork Reader, and Emmy. And so I think I just want to ask how they stay consistent. At this point, I am not planning to make this channel like my job. This is definitely a side thing for me. So I don't think I'm gonna upload like weekly videos like other booktubers, but I think you can, so my videos, if you're watching my channel, you can rest assured that the videos won't be frequent, but I will keep posting. Unless something very fundamental changes in me, I think I will continue to film booktube videos and continue to talk about books. It might not be as often as people may like, but that is kind of where I'm at and what pace I would like to go forward. But again, I would still love to ask my favorite booktubers, how did they manage to post like weekly videos or even post multiple videos per week and always still like retain that momentum and do that for years and years? I think that is so incredibly impressive, and I just want to ask them about their thought process. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So I think getting lost in views, likes, and subscribers would be a challenge, and I guess comparing yourself to others. So as I've mentioned in the first question, I started this channel for myself because I really love reading and I love talking about books, and I just want a space to be able to do that. But I did, like, at some points I started kind of caring more about subscribers. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, and there was one point when I felt way too happy when I just got like one more subscriber to my channel. Like, I know it's awesome to feel happy to get more subscribers or more likes, but that shouldn't be like the main, like, you shouldn't get lost in it, because then I think the channel loses its original spirit, I would say. And I am really trying hard to just film what I want and not to be a people pleaser and try to just get more views and do clickbait or things like that. When did you start reading? So this is interesting because my mother tongue is Mandarin Chinese, but somehow I learned how to read English before I knew how to read Chinese. I think it's just 26 alphabets are really just a lot more manageable than the thousands and thousands of Chinese characters. I started reading independently when I was around 5 to 6 years old, and again, that was like the Boxcar Children, and I also read like, I don't know, Paddington Bear or something like that, but Mr. Popper's Penguin, that was one I read very, very early on. So that was really fun. And then I first read my first Chinese book when I was 7 years old. So I started learning how to read Chinese in first grade. And I remember the first book I read in Chinese was called Keng Keng Dong Dong, which means like holes and craters. So it's about like a construction site and people like constructing, and it's like a lot of holes everywhere. So it's called Keng Keng Dong Dong. And I did not know how to read, so my mom read that to me. I only knew like all my 注音符号, like, so that was the first Chinese book that I tried to read and failed, but it's okay. And one of the earlier books I read in Chinese is 亚森罗平, like the Arsène Lupin series, and the kind of the mystery series. That was really, really fun. It's translated from French to Chinese, so I think that got me into like the Chinese books world. Where do you read? I read in my room most of the time. I think I'm someone who really wants to be very focused when I'm reading, like especially certain books. Like I can't read the Count of Monte Cristo while waiting for the metro. I feel like it's just not the kind of vibe I want. I want to really, really immerse and make sure that I'm not being interrupted when I'm reading. So my room is definitely, I think, the safest place I feel like I can read. Occasionally I do read in cafes and everything, but I just honestly think reading in my room is my favorite choice. What kind of books do you like to read? So I think I'm pretty open to a variety of genres. For the longest time, I really just loved YA, just like Hunger Games and Cassandra Clare, Sarah J. Maas, and all of that. But I'm also getting into classics. I love adventure novels, I love romance, I love sci-fi. I think the genre that I have not kind of touched on as much is poetry, which is something I kind of want to explore more and delve more into. I just think reading poetry, you kind of need to be in a certain mindset, but I do want to try out some poetry like Emily Dickinson or Rilke. I am very open to different types of genres. I also really love dystopia and contemporaries, so just bring them all my way. Okay, so those are all 10 questions of the Booktube Newbie book tag. And I honestly did not do that much coloring. It's just like a little bit. And I wasn't even like picking my colors. I was just taking the first kind of color on the closest to me, and yeah, but thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're also doing something relaxing. Please stay tuned for more content, and hope you have a nice day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!